Well, hello and welcome to Spring Open House. My name is Lindsay Miller. I am the Interim Director of Undergraduate Admissions. I am so excited that you are joining us to learn more about the tremendous opportunities available to students at Canisius College. No matter where you are in the college search process, maybe you're a junior just starting to look at colleges, a college student thinking about transferring, or a high school senior still making your college decision. Today's event is going to provide you with helpful information and the answers that you're looking for. We're going to begin our event today with a few words from the president of Canisius College, John J. Hurley.
Well, thank you, Lindsay, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Canisius College. Welcome to this virtual open house. I'm sorry that we can't be together on campus so that you could get a chance to see the campus and so that I could get a chance to greet you personally. But as we know, these are difficult times, and I'm glad you're taking the chance today to spend a little time with us in this format and getting a chance to learn about Canisius. I understand we have some seniors and perhaps some transfer students who are thinking about whether Canisius is the place for them. And then we have some juniors who are getting a head start on the process and thinking about already that college search process next year. You know, this is really for everyone. It's an exciting time in your life, but it is also now a very troubling time with the coronavirus crisis. So let me address that right up front. For seniors and transfers thinking about the fall, it's our intent to be live on campus in face-to-face instruction on the fall. As you know, if you've been watching the media, there are things that we're going to have to do to ensure that the environment at Canisius is safe for you to gather in classrooms, to gather in social spaces, to live in residence halls, and we're working on all of that. We've been working on that for weeks, and we'll continue to work on that over the summer. And of course, our decisions are governed by New York State's directives as to what we can and can't do. But believe me, we know it's in the students' best interests to get the full Canisius experience and to be live on campus. And we're going to do everything possible to make that happen. Juniors, I'm hoping that by the time the next year rolls around and you're putting your deposits down, that we've clarified the situation and that it becomes much easier. So the seniors who are in the middle of this, we're sorry for the way your senior year in high school has ended. And that this, it really has disrupted your college search process, I know. Maybe you weren't able to make the personal visits that you wanted. Maybe you weren't able to speak live to people that you wanted. But there's still ways of doing it here today. So I've been at Canisius now 23 years, and I'm completing my 10th year as president. And when I talk to prospective students and parents, I like to talk about the 4 important things that you need to think about when you're looking for a college. And I've actually thought about these a little bit more, maybe updated them in light of the coronavirus crisis. Okay, so point number 1 is, what are you going to study? And we have great programs at Canisius. We're going to give you an introduction to those today. You'll have an opportunity to explore those in depth. You can do that on our website, but in the course of your search, you will have an opportunity to meet and speak with faculty on just great programs, whether it's accounting and finance that are both nationally ranked in our business school, or our pre-med program that continues to just get kids into medical school at phenomenal rates. If you're not sure about what you want to study, that's fine too, because we have a great core curriculum that is part of every student's education, and you have plenty of time to make up your mind as to what you might want to study. We'll encourage you and we'll walk with you in that search, recommending a class to take that may be in an area that you might be interested in. There's plenty of time to make up that decision. And for the moms and dads who might be watching, if your student is not yet decided on a major in college, that's fine, because so many students change their majors that in a way it's almost good to start out undecided. So that's what you will study. Second, how you evaluate a college. Well, a lot of students want to evaluate the residence halls and the quality of the food, and we want to look at security on campus, and we can address all of that. We've got a great physical plant and phenomenal residence halls, but you have to ask what the education is like, the class size, the emphasis on fundamentals, critical thinking, oral and written communication skills, ethics, things that employers in the workplace want to see in college graduates. And will you be taught by full-time tenured faculty? Are they available to meet with you outside the classroom? And can you form a relationship with faculty? This is all part of what Canisius does so well. And really, when you think about the coronavirus crisis and the need for social distancing, actually our emphasis on small classes is going to give us a lot of flexibility as to how we deliver an education safely until there's an answer on the virus. The things that happen outside the classroom are so important. Your experiential learning opportunities, internships, research with faculty. Again, we take a personal interest in every student and try to chart out an individual plan for academic success. And along the way, we're very much focused on personal development, leadership skills that you learn in clubs and organizations. And as I said before, ethics, the understanding how to apply principles, that understanding the difference between right and wrong, and how do you apply that in real life situations. So as you evaluate colleges, you should be thinking about these things, because this is what the job market is about. This is what employers are interested in, and that's what we deliver. The third thing, and this is for perhaps the moms and dads out there, the cost and the return on the investment. We know that the cost of higher education is a big issue. That's why we work with our families on financial aid packages, and we try to offer very attractive financial aid. But you also have to remember, it's about the return on the investment that you're making in a college education. And so many parents I talk to ask, will my son and daughter get a job? We view college as a 4-year career that is ultimately focused on the life beyond Canisius. And people want Canisius graduates. We see that again and again. And our graduates are very successful. My own daughter is graduating from Canisius. Would have been today, would have been our commencement. But I think she's the only person I know who was actually able to find a permanent job in the midst of this pandemic. And she'll start work next Wednesday as the human services major, working in her field at OLV Human Services. So the Canisius Alumni Connection is very important. And I think this is going to be, this return on investment is going to be very, very important as our economy attempts to recover from the COVID-19 crisis. And then fourth, why Catholic and Jesuit? You know, we think as a Catholic and Jesuit university, we have something unique to offer to the world. And if you're a graduate of Canisius College, here are some interesting statistics. 75% will participate in some form of service. That's part of our mantra, becoming men and women for and with others. 29% of you, 3 times the national average, will study abroad. And we hope that we're able to figure out ways to do that safely after the disruption that occurred this spring. 2/3 of you, or more than twice the national average, will discuss ethics and benefit from an emphasis on values and ethics in the classroom. And as a Jesuit college, we focus on helping students develop and explore a relationship with God, because we think that makes all the difference in life. So our message at Canisius is, you can. We focus on all the things you can do and that you can become with a Canisius education. So I want to welcome you. Thank you for taking the opportunity to talk with us. Throughout your search, put our admissions staff to the test. Lindsay and her staff are up to it. And welcome to Canisius, and enjoy this webinar.
Thank you, President Hurley. As President Hurley said, Canisius is truly a unique and special place. As a Jesuit college, we aren't just going to educate you on your topic area, but rather transform you into the best possible version of yourself. I think our faculty and students explain this transformation best. And I'd like to take a moment just for you to hear from them.
This is our mission. It's our identity. To be a Catholic Jesuit university means that we, by definition, are charged with this education for justice, with this development of a humanistic sense of self. We emphasize an education that recognizes the truth in front of us, that what we have is a whole person who's more than just a career. They are an individual that has dreams, that has hopes, that has aspirations.
Students can be inspired to do anything that their heart desires, but at the same time, they're leaving here with the skill set, the critical thinking, the literacy of the world and justice, diversity, ethics, all of these areas which allow them to be flexible leaders.
Both my parents are cancer survivors, so that led me to pursue pre-med. One of the things that drew me to Canisius was it had this well-known pre-health program, and I wanted to study business, and I wouldn't have been able to do it at a larger school. Canisius really afforded me the opportunity to do both.
I started as a bio major and an ABAC major, and I just wasn't loving the work, and kind of showed me that it's okay to love something and not know where it's going to take you. So that encouraged me to switch over to digital media arts. Getting to work on a documentary has really been one of the most unique opportunities that I've gotten here at Canisius. Project Wolf is the film that I was able to shoot and edit.
At Canisius, there's a pretty tangible focus on the student. In my experience, whenever you reached out to a professor, they were always more than willing and excited to reach back and help you or just discuss with you.
My role is to bring out that passion in them, to ask questions. What provokes and stokes that fire in your belly? I love asking that question in class. And I love for them to just pause and say, I don't know if I've ever been asked that. If you can find whatever gives you that passion, grab it and let's see how we can make it a reality for you.
The faith that drives Canisius is the faith that does justice. Real consequences for what it is that you do outside the classroom is reflected in a number of different places around the campus.
The Canisius experience in terms of Catholic Jesuit education really challenges you as an individual to put your values into action. So what do you believe in? And then not only you believe in those things, but what do you do to show that you believe in those things?
There are opportunities on this campus that when students take advantage of them, it allows for an absolutely amazing transformation.
I was able to go to the IGNATIAN Family Teach-In for Justice, and it's made up of around 2,000 members of the Jesuit community. When I went for the first time to the conference, I felt quite at home. I knew in that moment that I wasn't the only one who wanted to see a better world than what we have now.
I went to Canisius expecting a transformative experience. Looking back on it, I absolutely think that is the case. There's just a constellation of experiences that in different ways kind of broke me and then built me back up. They absolutely make me who I am today.
When I was at Canisius, I realized how prepared I was because a lot of the coursework I had already seen. I felt like I was already prepared at that postgraduate level.
You will be ready day one on your job. Someone gives you something, you're going to either know what they're talking about or you're going to have all of the resources in place to figure it out.
Our students can be confident that because they have gone through their education here, their content has been shaped by values that set them up to be successful. They go from good when they come in to great when they leave. And we know that there's a seed that's been planted that will be flowering for many years to come.
This morning, we are also joined by one of our current students, Bridget Brogan. Bridget just finished her junior year as a dual major in communication studies and journalism. She is here to share with us a little bit about her own Canisius experience. Welcome, Bridget.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, first off, good morning, everyone. My name is Bridget Brogan, and I just wanted to first and foremost thank you all for joining us this morning. And despite everything that is happening in the world right now, I am so happy to still be able to share with you my time at Canisius. As of last week, I have just completed my junior year at Canisius, and the past 3 years have absolutely flown by. It is extremely hard to fathom that I only have 1 year of college left when I can clearly remember lying awake at night as a senior in high school, wondering if I was ever going to be able to pick a college. It wasn't until I attended Canisius's Accepted Students Day in the spring of my senior year that I knew this was where I belonged at school. For some of you, you may just be beginning to start your college search, and for others, you may have already made your decision to attend Canisius. Looking at schools can be more than overwhelming, and after the second or third college tour, and even those that are now virtual, some schools may actually start to feel the same. But I am here to tell you about what makes Canisius so special. The second I stepped foot on this campus, which I hope you are all able to do soon, I was immediately overcome by a warm and welcoming atmosphere that made Canisius feel instantly like home. You could almost say I had a case of deja vu because something about it just felt so comforting and familiar, like home. Even my mother, who disliked every campus more than 30 minutes away from our home in Syracuse, was like, "You should definitely go here." Well, I am so thankful I listened to my mother because Canisius has allotted me more opportunities than I ever could have dreamed of. And like I said, I stress dreamed a ton about colleges, so Canisius just blew me away. In Syracuse, I attended a very small private school named Bishop Ludden, where my graduating class had a total of 40 students. With that being said, I knew I wanted to attend a smaller college where I could get involved in multiple activities almost instantly, because at the time I was bouncing back and forth between volleyball, softball, theater, and campus ministry. Before I even realized it, I began to embody a Jesuit tradition known as Magis, meaning more. In the first 2 weeks of my freshman semester, I walked on to the Division I women's rowing team. I joined our sorority Phi Sigma Sigma, and I became a chapel sacristan for Christ the King Chapel here on campus. In keeping with my tradition from high school, I also knew that I wanted the opportunity to be an active student leader on campus, which is why I can now proudly say I'm the captain of the women's rowing team, the president of Phi Sigma Sigma, and the head sacristan of the chapel, which also means I have the incredible opportunity to help coordinate any weddings that take place on campus. A second reason I wanted to attend a small school like Canisius is the ability to get to know all of my professors on a personal level, because although I am actively involved in all of the activities I just mentioned, I did actually go to Canisius to obtain a degree. If it has not been stated before, I am a dual major in communications and journalism. And side note, it is so manageable to pursue more than one major and multiple minors at Canisius. But the reason I even picked up my second major in journalism is that one of my professors encouraged me to do so. In my sophomore year, I took Broadcasting in America, followed by Media Ethics, and they sparked my passion for news reporting and broadcasting. This past year, I even had the opportunity to take a class with Claudine Ewing, a news anchor for WGRZ Channel 2 here in Buffalo. And this past spring, I began an internship at News 4 Buffalo. Here, I was able to work alongside different reporters, assist in the field with interviews, and even sit in the studio when live newscasts were being broadcasted. This internship also allowed me to explore the amazing city of Buffalo and begin developing relationships within the community. I understand why Buffalo is nicknamed the City of Good Neighbors. Last summer, I also began assisting my advisor with research on the PBS children's show Reading Rainbow, where we are still conducting interviews with the show's creators, producers, and talent with hopes of having a book written by the end of the year. Now, if you had told me 3 years ago when I committed to Canisius and received my first of 100 Canisius t-shirts, and I do mean you will receive 100, I have counted, and you told me I would have accomplished this much in 3 years, I probably would have said my chances of that happening are slimmer than me going to Harvard. But yet, here I am, 3 years later, and I can confidently and enthusiastically say, choosing to come to Canisius was the best decision of my life. And trust me when I say, there are also 1,000,001 smaller opportunities at Canisius that I couldn't fit into just 5 minutes of talking. But just to name a couple, there's our infamous Kairos retreats, Griff's basketball and hockey games, the Buffalo Bills and Sabres, Tim Hortons, Starbucks, Study Abroad, Greek Life, Honor Societies. And did I mention free t-shirts? But anyways, I am so proud to call myself a Golden Griffin and I hope that you will all be able to say the same and call Canisius your new home soon. Now, if you want to hear more about the student experience at Canisius, I will be attending a student panel at 11:15 this morning, where you can come and I can answer any additional questions you may have. And thank you again so much for attending, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Bridget, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Yes, at this time, we are going to transition into our academic breakout sessions, where the deans will provide a comprehensive overview of the many majors within our 3 academic divisions. Simply return to the open house webpage where you first started today. You will see there are 3 sessions starting in just a few minutes. Click on the Zoom link that corresponds to the academic area that your interested major is housed in. To help point you in the right direction, if you are interested in any of our business majors, including accounting, accounting information systems, economics, entrepreneurship, finance, international business, management, or marketing, you'll want to attend our Whaley School of Business session. If you're interested in any of the following majors, including sports management, health and wellness, human services, sports exercise healthcare, and any of our teacher education majors, you'll want to attend the School of Education and Human Services session. For the rest of our 48 majors, those are housed in our College of Arts and Sciences. That's the session you'll want to hop into. I encourage you to attend the rest of our sessions today. You'll have a chance to ask your questions live, and we will be answering them live. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. We look forward to seeing you in our future sessions. Have a great day.